The regular meeting of the Architectural and Design Commission, please come to order. Commissioner Chant, will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Place your hand over your heart and begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Commissioners Chant,
Present.
Despain,
Present.
McDonald,
Present.
Tufts,
Present.
Vice Chair Bartlett,
Present.
and Chairman Carter, absent. We have a quorum.
Public business from the floor. If an individual is unable to stay through the entire meeting due to extenuating circumstances, a total of 10 minutes is provided at this time, during which input may be given regarding agenda items. Individual speakers are limited to 3 minutes each. Any person who would like to address the Architectural and Design Commission on any agendized item is requested to complete a speaker card for the recording secretary and identify the agenda item you would like to discuss. Each person will be given an opportunity to address the Architectural and Design Commission at the time such item is discussed by the Architectural and Design Commission. Speaker cards available at the entrance of council chambers. Individual speakers are limited to 3 minutes each. Do we have any speakers?
There are no speakers.
Okay. First item, we'll approval of the minutes from the regular meeting of September 6th and October 4th.
I'll motion to approve the minutes from September 6th and October 4th.
And I'll second that.
Okay. Vote. Yours not working down there?
No love here.
Commissioner Tufts' little machine isn't working.
If we can take a revote.
Okay. Try again.
Let you go first.
It's not working, so can I do a verbal?
Oh, there we go.
Oops.
Try it one more time.
Oh, I didn't hit mine. Where's mine? Mine's not pushing me out.
Yeah, I'll vote yes. So sorry.
I'm pushing mine right now. Look. What'd you do to my stuff, man?
Motion passes.
I
5.
will verbally vote yes on that.
Okay. I already did that part. The next item is new business, Director's Review, number 18-97. Can we hear the staff report, please?
Good evening, Vice Chair Bartlett and members of the Architecture and Design Commission. The application before you today is a director's review for the installation of a new 37-foot billboard within the Park and Ride area at Sergeant Steve Owen Memorial Park, located on 10th Street West. On March 27th of this year, the City Council entered into a memorandum of understanding with Lamar Advertising to replace, relocate, and/or upgrade certain of its off-premise outdoor advertising signs. Also, as part of this understanding, the City entered into this partnership whereby Lamar became a partner and provided goods and services to the City. And as part of this, Lamar assisted with the design and installation of a new scoreboard at Jethawk Stadium and the installation of new videos cameras at the stadium. In addition, Lamar also agreed to design and install a secondary billboard at the city's Park and Ride location. This project before you is in compliance with the development standards identified in the Lancaster Municipal Code with respect to size, height, and visual standards. The proposed design for this will be unique and will include a tribute to Sergeant Steve Owen. It will feature a 5-foot 4-inch by 22 single-faced background structure, painted steel gray, and will include a sheriff's badge to be 22 inches tall and illuminated. Furthermore, while there are no specific standards in the city's design guidelines for billboards, this particular billboard is in fact consistent with various goals of the city's design guidelines. And with that, staff recommends that the Architecture and Design Commission approve Director's Review number 1897. There are representatives here from Lamar that are available should the Commission have specific questions related to the design of the billboard. Thank you.
Commissioners, do we have any questions or comments on this item?
Yes, I have a couple questions. So I've seen, I guess the TV type billboards along the freeway. They're further off the side. This one's fairly close. Does this have a capability of dimming at nighttime, the amount of brightness that it's going to have being that close right to the road? Just wondering if it has that capability.
I can defer that question to the representatives from Lamar, if that's okay.
Okay, please. Thank you.
Good evening, guys. Thanks for having me. My name is Jim Moran. I'm the general manager at Lamar, and we appreciate the opportunity to partner with the city in this manner as well. And I thank you for your time tonight. The question is, yes, what we do is all of our digital signs go through a dimming process at night, and so that will mitigate some of that brightness in the evening. So that is a yes.
Thank you. I was just concerned about, people driving by if it's that bright, because I know during the day it's going to be brighter in order to be able to see it. So.
You bet. And a great example of that you could be able to look at real time would be at 20th Avenue West and J. There's a board right there by that Gen X place at 20th Street West and J facing southward, and it's the same format, so it'll be very similar to that.
Okay, perfect. That's all I have for a question. Anyone else?
Thanks.
I will say that the billboard on 20th. Yeah.
I'm
Thank
good
you.
at billboards,
Thank
not so
you.
good at public speaking.
The billboard on 20th and right there in front of Sizzler is
yes.
the one you're speaking of, and that is it's not very distracting. I'm on that street every day. I do want to say that I appreciate the way this looks. It's beautiful. Just to give you a compliment on it, and I'm honored to be a part of this decision-making process for this very important man. So I just wanted to say that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'd like to give a lot of credit to Heather, too. She's my lease manager, but she has also been an integral part of all of this, and she's awesome.
Thank you, Heather.
Anything else?
Sir,
Yes.
almost done.
Okay, I'm good.
I've got some questions about the material. Can you go over the material that's being used? I'm concerned about, since this is a sign that will also serve as a memorial, the climate up here is extremely intense. Is there plastics? I mean, I know the lettering is going to be backlit, and then the upper part of the sign for Sergeant Steve Owen. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, yeah, it'll be metal, and we're sensitive to that too. And the company we work with, RMG, does work all across the country, and they're very familiar with Lamar in Southern California. And I agree, in the high desert, you want it to be durable and look good over time. And so, basically, it's going to be channel lettering, so it'll all be metal. I don't believe there's any plastic at all in this construction. It's all going to be steel or steel components. So I think it's going to be very durable and look good over time.
Fantastic. Just another general question. Over time, who's going to maintain this sign to make sure that it stays?
Yeah, that's us. We take 100% care of everything.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
And we've
Thank
got a
you.
great crew. I've got a great crew that have capabilities in this. And if there were some issue that we didn't anticipate, we've got a great, rich relationship with RMG, and so we would be able to work with their engineers to correct any kind of issue long term as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Great. Thanks.
Is this a double-sided sign?
Yes,
or-
it is.
So-
This is going to be a double-sided sign, and the dome on top will be on both sides.
So the signs on each side could be running different ads at the same time?
That's correct.
And so how many ads do you anticipate per minute?
Well, it's going to be 7 ads. We do 6-second run time, so it'll be about 5 to 6 ads. Well, per minute, depends. If it could be someone might buy a couple in a row. Typically, you're looking about 6 to 7, so 10 or 12 per minute.
So it's going to be every 6 seconds we'll be switching?
Yeah, every 6 seconds we rotate the ad. So let me be more
Could
specific.
do up to 120 ads on this billboard, correct?
No.
60 on one side, 60 on the other?
No. So that's a different question. So we typically limit this to, because the city's going to get 1 slot to use however they choose, and then typically we'll sell the other 6. So you'll have really a maximum of 12 advertisers, could be less than that. We don't usually double up a slot on the advertising.
James, just to confirm, you said 6 to 7 ads, not 6-0.
No, yes, no, 6.
6, single digit.
Single digit. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so so basically it'll flip per minute about 10 times. And that will be either individual advertisers that we go out and sell to, and the city. And the city can run LPAC things, they can run Bark in the Park things. Basically anything that they typically do with us now, you do with us now, you'll be able to run on that.
So 10 ads per minute on
Correct.
Each side?
Yeah,
So
because
20
on each
ads a
side,
minute.
that's right, because we do 6-second slots, and you get 60 seconds, so it's every 6, so it's 10 different ads will usually turn over per minute.
And how many, what does an average price for one of those ads cost?
Oh, that can vary. I think we're looking at something in the neighborhood of around $1,200 to $1,500 per ad.
Per ad, so every time that flashes for 6 seconds.
Correct, and the city is a
$1,500.
beneficiary of 20% of that. Because
So
our
this-
deal is you get a slot plus 20% revenue from the board.
Okay, so the
Yeah.
city is getting revenue on it.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Plus, we did the beautiful new digital display at Jethawk Stadium.
Oh.
We donated that, in effect. So,
Traded.
traded.
Right.
Traded, that's probably a better word.
Any other questions?
Now I'm comfortable up here, so bring them on. No, just kidding. Thanks.
If there are no further questions, do we have a motion? I'll move that we approve Director's Review number 18-97.
I will second that.
Let's vote. No, mine went. There we go. Sorry, I was the slacker that time. Motion passes 5-0? 5-0? Wait. Oh, wait, somebody abstained.
4-0, 1
4-1.
absent.
4-1.
4-0, 1 abstention.
1 abstention, right. Okay. The next item for new business is Director's Review 18-98. Can we hear the staff report, please?
Absolutely. This item is very similar to the one you heard. This is for the installation of a new 32-foot billboard at 10th Street West. The site is currently located within a commercial shopping center, and the proposed billboard is located within the landscaped berm area at the northeast corner of the site. This project is also compliant with the development standards in the municipal code, and the proposed design will include an 11 by 22 single-faced background structure painted steel gray. And again, while there are no specific design guidelines, the proposed billboard is designed to be compatible with its context, and staff recommends that the Architecture and Design Commission approve Director's Review number 1898. Thank you.
Do we have any speakers for this item?
There are no speakers.
Commissioners, questions or comments?
Yes, I do have questions. Just a couple, though.
That's good.
First thing, I'm curious to know, because I noticed that most of those signs seem to be on the same side of the street, and seeing that there's a street light right there, in that particular area, the street lights are really, these are the new ones I believe the city came with, and they're really quite illuminating. They're great lights, but to have that billboard there versus the other side of the street where it's going down 10th Street, that area is pretty dark at night, and I just was curious of what's with that side, the right side of the street versus, well, coming from this direction, that we'd be going that way. It's
Gotcha.
gonna be on the right side.
Well,
West side.
yeah, that's a good question. What we face in this situation is having a landowner that will work with us, and then having a spot that's properly zoned and falls within the ordinances that we have to abide by, and then having electricity nearby. So in this case, the landowner that we're working with, that's just where his property is zoned. That's the reason for that.
Yeah, I see the light being so close by, and if this is an accurate depiction of where this billboard is going to be, that just seems counterproductive for lighting and saving energy in a sense to me. Like, this is just, of course, just my opinion. I mean,
Yeah, we do face that sometimes. A lot of times we'll have some minor obstructions like a light pole or, freeway overpass or things like that. And in this case, it's the only spot it can be built, and it's where the city has agreed to it and the landowner has agreed to it. And every now and then we just have a situation like that. There's another, a lot of times you'll get just free of obstruction, but other times you have minor obstructions like the pole. And unfortunately, the light, I suppose if it turns out that it becomes a well-lit area because of the billboard, it's possible that the light could be taken out just to save resources for the city. I don't know if you would normally do that.
well,
but-
that's why I figured that would be more, like, to me, it seems more reasonable to move the billboard, not the pole. The pole's there already. The
Yeah.
light is already there, but it's just a question.
Yeah, it's about that's where the opportunity is.
Okay.
That's where the landowner has land, and the only place we can put it, and it just happens to fall next to a light pole.
Okay, it's fair enough.
Sure.
Thank you.
So at $1,500 an ad for 6 ads a minute, it's $9,000 per hour.
Well, no, per 4 weeks, not per hour.
Okay.
Yeah, we
the
bill
weeks,
every
gotcha.
4 weeks.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
But it would be nice
So-
to get $9,000 per hour.
I was going to say, wow, that is quite a billing.
I'd
So
be finding a way to become before you a lot more often.
Does the city get any revenue from this board?
No, this is the city, the deal with the city is, and the reason that the city is gaining revenue from the one at the city park is that it's on city land. So this is on another lessor's land. And so if we could find future opportunities with the city to put boards, to locate them on city property, we could enter into similar agreements. But in this case, it's a completely different landowner, and so the city won't share in the revenue of that.
And so how many billboards are you giving up to get this digital billboard that makes
Well,
this
the
many
city has
ads
a
an hour?
the city has a one-to-one agreement with Lamar, with all billboard companies, and so it's a net zero gain. We're giving up one to get one. And in the case of these, I believe these are coming through permits that we have with the city already, where we've taken down prior boards, and in this case, but it's still a net zero gain.
I'm not understanding what net
So
zero means.
we're not adding just boards without taking any down. In this case, we won't be taking any down, but we have permits with the city of Lancaster, active permits where a board doesn't exist because we've taken them down in years past. So they hang on to those, and we're using those permits.
So you're taking a static board down and replacing it with a digital board, and there's no compensation for that to the city?
Well, there's additional compensation with the city in terms of this agreement because of the board that we put up at Jethawk Stadium. That was nearly $500,000 and that didn't cost. There was no funding from the city. That was 100% from Lamar. So in effect, you're going to get long-term revenue from the board at the city park because that's on city property. But this board, the revenue really is coming on the front end from the digital display that we put up at the stadium.
And on the display at the stadium, do you get revenue from that?
No,
None.
no, that's all the city.
Gotcha. That's all my questions.
All right. Anybody else? Thank you.
Any other questions? Anyone? Okay. Okay, if there are no further discussion, let's have a motion, please. I'll move that we approve Director's Review number 18-98.
I'll second that.
Let's vote. Motion passes 5-0.
5-0.
Okay, and public business from the floor, non-agendized items. Let's see, the portion of the agenda allows an individual the opportunity to address the commission on any subject regarding city business. Under state legislation, no action can be taken on non-agenda items. Members of the public should be aware of this when addressing the commission regarding items not specifically referenced on the agenda. Please complete a speaker card for the recording secretary. Individual speakers are limited to 3 minutes each. Are there any speakers?
There are no speakers this
No
evening.
speakers today? Okay. We stand adjourned in the regular meeting to Thursday, December 6th at 5 p.m. in Lancaster City Hall chambers.
Could I add just one item before we
Yes.
depart? Some of you have an invitation that was left on your seats. Some of you do not, and we apologize. That was an oversight. That does not mean that you are not invited, because you are, and your invitations are coming soon. So I do apologize. That was an error that the city made. The invitation before you is to welcome, and forgive me, I'm going to butcher it.
General Tigert.
Yes, to the Antelope Valley. General Tigert is making. I'm not sure I understand exactly. Is he? You want to give us a little bit of background, Commissioner Tuft?
Yes, he's the new 412th Test Wing Commander. So he just came in, I want to say, in August.
Thank you. So you're all more than welcome to attend. I do have invitations for you two gentlemen that I will get to you. They're still upstairs, but you are definitely invited to the event, and we hope to see you there. Thank you.
Now, is our invitation enough, or do we have to RSVP still?
They still want to know head count.
Okay. That's
So
all I
if
need.
you could RSVP, that would help.
Thanks. No problem.
Thank you.
Space is not a destination. It's not a tourist attraction or a delivery route. And we know it's not a race, because last we looked, there is no finish line. Despite what others may say, space is not a place to go. Space is a place to do. A place to do big things, important things, useful things, epic things, things that help militaries protect better, things that help humans communicate better, things that teach us about other worlds, and about how we can better protect the one we live in now. There's an asteroid up there that may reveal the secrets of the universe if we can bring home a piece of it. Let's do that. We won't need to launch satellites anymore if we can 3D print them up there. Let's do that. There are terabytes of data that must be turned into vital information. Let's do that too. Let's solve the world's biggest problems. Let's invite the bold and the brilliant to join us. Let's unleash the best engineers on and off Earth. Because doing is what we do.
Technology that enables cars to drive themselves.
You're watching LTV.
This is LA Now, your Los Angeles County news magazine. The Care Harbor Clinic brings medical, dental, and vision care to people who need it most. Plus, the Host Homes program helps get homeless youth into temporary housing. And the Vermont Corridor Project breaks ground in Koreatown. Furry friends find forever homes at Bow Wows and Meows. You can't put a price on your health, but when there's no sticker price for costly healthcare treatments and screenings, now that's something to celebrate.
Atle Gavidia thought he was a relatively healthy 27-year-old. That is until medical professionals at the Care Harbor Clinic took his blood pressure.
So when I checked it out today, when I noticed it was 160 over like 90, they checked it 3 times today just to make sure. One of the students and eventually the nurse and eventually even the doctor. And when they told me, it's like, you have to, it's some type of concern, especially because of the history.
2 years ago, Gavidia's dad suffered a stroke and then a heart attack. But Gavidia doesn't get a chance to monitor his blood pressure all that often. The married father of one no longer qualifies for Medi-Cal and can't afford regular insurance. It was Gavidia's mother who encouraged him to get a new pair of glasses at Care Harbor's 3-day-long free health clinic. A chance stop at the medical station, though, to get a full health assessment, that made all the difference.
Now I'm going to try to live a better, healthier lifestyle, not only for me, but for my daughter.
As a nonprofit, Care Harbor hosts uninsured and medically underserved populations at large-scale free urban health clinics. In its 8th year, the organization's annual Los Angeles County Clinic has served over 20,000 patients and offered medical services valued at close to $20 million.
I believe that healthcare is a right and not a privilege in the United States of America, and there's no better place to demonstrate that than in the county of Los Angeles. So we're all in for a good reason, and it is essentially to honor the dignity of every single person who should enjoy good health.
What you're looking at is over $2.5 million of medical, dental, and vision care at work, with nearly 3,000 people receiving services over the course of the 3 days. Just to get a sense of what that means, these dentists have performed 7 full denture procedures just in the last few hours.
We're doing much more than we ever have in the past. We've got a great depth of medical services. We're doing echocardiograms, EKG, mammograms. We're doing full dentures back in dental area. So it's grown in the breadth of services. It's grown in size. It's grown in the number of volunteers that have come here. We have waiting lists for some positions now. It's a real grassroots movement, and it's something that I don't think has happened on this scale in healthcare. And it's the healthcare community coming together to respond to a need.
The expansion of Care Harbor's service capabilities makes it a complete one-stop shop for patients, alleviating both the financial and the time burden. This year's clinic featured 60 dental chairs, 15 vision lanes, and 55 medical examination areas.
I like it because I'm learning here. I come here and get an education on certain things. And I get to see about my glasses, my eyes, and just get a full vision. So I like that, and I just went to the podiatrist to check out my feet. So you can get a lot of things did here, which you normally wouldn't go to in a day. Here you can get it did in one day.
The county is committed to supporting Care Harbor's work and the health needs of the uninsured.
Thank you. We really mean it, because a lot of us, we can't afford to go to you. So this kind of moment means everything for us.
Reporting in downtown LA, I'm Jackie Karsh.
The Probation Reform and Implementation Team continues its work of creating a new independent probation oversight commission. The goal of the new commission will be to improve outcomes for youth and adults on probation with far-reaching and fair-minded common sense reforms.
This is a crucial part of meaningful community engagement. You have to have people from diverging perspectives being at the table, willing to talk to each other and struggle through with each other to end up with a plan that's going to have the opportunity to take root at all levels of the department.
They're making a difference in us understanding better what the community would like to see from us, as well as the community having a little better understanding of the challenges that we face in implementing the reform that's so important to us to implement.
The groundbreaking for a massive construction project on Vermont Avenue in Koreatown promises a new day for 2 county departments and housing opportunities for seniors. The Vermont Corridor Project is a $453 million development that will house the Department of Mental Health with walk-in mental health services located on site. In addition, workforce development, aging, and community services will also be located in the new facility. Future expansions will include 172 residential apartments and 72 units of senior housing. The tower is expected to be completed by 2021.
This is a catalytic project, and it's going to essentially bring new life and revitalization to Koreatown.
A new pilot program that pairs homeowners willing to share a spare room with young adults who are transitioning out of homelessness is hoping to expand. We visited a homeowner in Venice and an individual whose life has changed because of this new opportunity.
I have seen so much in my lifetime.
Relly Brown has a lot of hope these days, but that wasn't always the case.
I was at the point of my life where I was on, I call it give up mode.
Originally from Washington, D.C., Relly found himself homeless after suffering a personal crisis just months after moving to Los Angeles.
There was nothing else left for me. I felt like the whole world was just caving in on me. I just felt like I just really wanted to quit.
But luckily, he found support services at Safe Place for Youth, also known as SPY.
A lot of our members right now are either sleeping on the street or on the Venice beach or even in their cars.
Every day they'll ask, am I okay? What do you need? Do you need blankets? Do you need food? How can we help you? And I just told them, I just want to be housed. I want to work.
Through their new pilot program, he also found a temporary place to call home.
The Host Home program is an innovative, community-based program where we ask community members around the Venice, city of Venice, as well as Los Angeles, to open up their home to host one of our youth members who've experienced homelessness.
The pilot program will focus on identifying 10 guests that are pursuing employment or academic opportunities and connect them with host homes for 3 to 6 months at a time.
It's a great time period for our youth to be able to focus on goals such as housing, employment, education. We've had an array of different hosts who've stepped up to house our young people.
People like Barney Alfs, who opened up his home in Santa Monica to host Relly.
I think this is a great way for me, in a small way, to do something productive. When I heard about this program, I thought, gee, I could really put that space to some good use doing this. At this point in time, I am living alone, and I thought, why not have another person living here?
This is more of a personal setting for me versus being in any kind of shelter, and I've been in quite a few shelters. Can't believe I have my own space right now versus what I was dealing with.
In this peaceful setting, Relly has been able to look for a job and even pursue his musical passions.
I get back up and I see the light. I'm slowly getting back to where I need to be.
For more information on how to be a host, go to safeplaceforyouth.org.
I see the light.
For the